Hello everybody, this is Nick speaking. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. Today we are going to be doing some work over here on the coaster station, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty well, and I kind of like the design. I tried to stick with the tower we have over in front of all of this, and yeah, it kind of worked out pretty well, and basically kind of stick with the same sort of theme over here, except for we have these kind of like walls where the coaster is, and yeah, the camera doesn't like me right there, but yeah, so we basically start out by kind of figuring out what we're going to do with this theme, and actually found out those wall pieces kind of fit the coaster station perfectly, and it actually makes it work out pretty nice there for us, so did that a little bit. I decided to also put kind of like a side tower over here, but I didn't like the original design of it, so I kind of made it a little bit smaller here, which actually turns out pretty well, and kind of just, you know, get a little bit of a edge to it. And yeah, these window sort of pieces over here, which are some of the ones that I think are pretty good for just about anything. And then we also take a little tower here in the front of this, and again, I think this actually turns out to be a nice little detail too. We actually just mimic the other tower right there, you can kind of see on camera, and it actually looks pretty nice. So I think just having these kind of details sort of mirrored into multiple spots actually works out fairly well for this coaster station, and you know, getting all the same details in over and over just kind of makes everything one cohesive sort of look. And you know, we've got this design over here which actually ends up looking relatively good, and yeah, I do the same kind of thing at the bottom of the tower here that I did on the other one, and then we basically just build the pillars like we had on the other ones. I think I do this a few times, look at it multiple times before I actually get this all in the right spot. So there'll be a few deletions and replacing of this thing. So, and yeah, lots of going back and forth between the two of them and seeing how they match up. So that's going to be a thing, and let's also kind of, you know, continue placing these pillars. Yeah, and apparently I'm not doing a very good job of placing them because I keep deleting and rebuilding them. Because, yeah, I'm obviously very good at doing sort of things like this, and yeah. I mean, it does end up looking right at the end. I just, you know, have to redo them 500 times to make it look good. So yeah, here I am trying to match that up perfectly, and it's not working very well, and you'll see a lot of this going back and forth over and over again, and there we go, we deleted everything. So this is number 2 of us starting this, and that's not the right pillar, so I'm going to end up deleting this one as well. Actually, no, it is the right pillar. I just kind of forgot what the right pillar was. Okay. No, that's not the right pillar. It's the one with the... Yeah, that's not the right one. Okay. Good job. Okay, no, we didn't delete it yet. Okay, we're copying it, and when are we going to realize it's the wrong one? Probably pretty soon here. Okay, so we're gonna... Looks like we're gonna continue with the detail over here, just kind of mimicking the tower on the other side, and yeah, I kind of like how this turns out, and it looks pretty good. Of course, it will look better when we get the square pillars here, because they won't kind of just go out over in the open. And here's where I kind of realized that I used the wrong pillar, and that we need to use this one instead to kind of make it match up. And then I tried to delete the one underneath, which also doesn't work very well for us because we can't really select it. And yeah, that's kind of an interesting sort of problem to have, because yeah. Alright, so continuing on, we're deleting all the pillars again, and now we're replacing them because we like to replace things apparently, and there's a brief pause there, I guess. Don't know what was going on, but I guess something was. And we're scrolling through menu. Okay, here's where we put in the floors. That's not the right one, though, so we immediately remove it and put in the correct one, which is that one. And apparently I decide to do it the hard way by putting the new one in and then removing the old one. Yes, because that makes a whole lot of sense. And then, yeah, I don't think I use those at all, but yeah, let's get that little detail in there, which is probably one of my more favorite detail of these towers. And yeah, that back one there is kind of the interesting one, because we got that little bit of extra stuff over there, and yeah, it turns out pretty well, I think, getting all these little details in. And apparently we're moving pillars again because they're in the wrong spot, which shouldn't be surprising at this point because I seem to do that a lot. And yeah, that moves over. End up moving, I think, pretty much everything here just because we want to make sure everything looks correct. And yeah, there we go, moving that over. Eventually those get moved down, like I think half a block as well, because they're a little too far up. And there we go, there's my little stucco piece that I'm going to use in there. Take that little pillar thing and put it at the bottom side as well, like we have on the other tower over there, and kind of put that little line through the middle of it. And yeah, then we'll just copy it around to the other sides and make it look all nice. So there we go, and there we go. Alright, so that gets the main part of the tower done, and then we take the roof, do the same exact thing we have on the other one, which includes the bell and the other features of it, like the flag at the top. If I remember right, that's next. No, we're messing with pillars again because we've now realized that they're all too far up and they all need to be moved down like half a block. So here we go, moving them all down. And yeah, so there we go. Oh, one more. And yeah, that actually helps align them a lot better too, surprisingly, because now we have a base to put them on and see where they line up. And I apparently missed one of the pillar pieces over here, so let's go and fix it by putting in a smaller one because we can. And yeah, I mean, that looks good there. And if I remember right, I try to put something in those corners to block that, but I never find anything, so I don't remember what I really do with that. I think I just leave it, actually, because the detail's far enough down, I don't think it can be seen from behind the sign. And here we go, put in the flag. There we go, flag placed. And we apparently decided to put it on the other side so the flags both face the same direction, which is actually a good idea. Because realistically, that's what would be happening, is all the flags would be going the same direction. And here we go, getting a little bit of stucco detail into here. And this one gets rotated that way. And kind of pushed down in there too. And then I think I take like one, yeah, I take you, and that just kind of gets inset into there as well. So gives a little bit of detail to the front of the tower as well. And now there's some plants and interestingness because, yeah, there we go. And then we'll take the actual entrance path here too, and we're gonna kind of basically put rocks all the way around it on both sides, because right now it kind of sticks out a little bit, but, you know, giving a little bit of detail to it is going to be what kind of gets us to make it look like it's believable to be there, and actually ends up looking really good, I think. Yeah, you know, just, I think that we get one of those rocks in there, and I actually turn it, ooh. Yeah, I didn't remember too much of how I did this, but yeah, I mean, actually works out pretty well. We basically just fit the path as well as we can to align to the rocks here, and even a little bit under the beginning of the right here. So, of course, the rest of this still needs to be designed, and I haven't got to that yet. So, yeah, but it kind of frames the path here and makes it look pretty much like it fits in, and we end up putting a few of those, a few more plants in. I think I end up swapping some of them out for this green one we have in our hand now. Yeah, I swap them out now, and there we go. We are working a little bit more on this. We got the next sort of area over here with the flowers down at the bottom of that path, and that side's kind of done, the front of it, and now we continue on with the tower over here again. I think all I do is put a floor in there, a few of these hooks, and I don't think I do anything else with that tower. I think that's it. We are going to put in some lighting to kind of light up this main tower, though, which actually ends up looking kind of cool, and I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen the lights, but I think it's going to end up turning out pretty good, and you get a little bit of different color in there. And now we continue editing the building and putting kind of details into this main part and not the front tower, because yeah, we've done enough on the front tower at this point to kind of, you know, make that kind of like the eye-catching part of this build, and now we just need to fill the rest of it to kind of fit it in. And yeah, we do this by kind of putting in some more pillars here, and I think they actually look pretty good for this area. And yeah, just kind of copy and paste them around the front of this building, and we also end up copying and pasting them to the back at some point. And yeah, just kind of, you know, make the pillars kind of continue down to the bottom, and that one is misplaced. I can see that now. I fix it later, which, you know, I didn't think I know it is. Yeah, there we go. Me noticing it and fixing it. And we are going to see about putting something there. I end up not doing it, but yeah, so there we go, and that's the end of the first clip. Now on to the second one. We've got, continuing on with this build, we have a little bit more design going into the front of this. I was trying to think of putting windows there. I end up doing it if I remember right, and it does kind of fit in there. I don't remember if I put anything down there. I tried those little windows, but they didn't look very good. Do I do anything with this? I don't actually remember. Yeah, we put one of those stucco pieces at the bottom. Okay. Kind of tie it into the rest of the tower that way, and yeah, I think it ends up looking pretty good there. And then we continue on with the tower. I put in a roof here next, and this roof will be gone by the end of this build, just because it ends up not working very well for this building, and I end up doing a flat roof at the end. But you know, this kind of roof is actually good too, and I like it. So yeah, it's just, it doesn't work with the building, and it just looks too big, and the tower then kind of gets dwarfed a little bit, and we really want to make that tower kind of our main point of this building. So yeah, that ends up not doing too much for us, so I kind of wish I didn't spend so much time trying to, you know, put all the wall pieces in here and all of that, because I should just noticed right away that's not what I wanted, and it doesn't really look that great either. And there's lots of other issues with this roof too. Like, I try to put in like some of the little details, and the little details obviously don't work either, because we have the center peaks in all of these, and yeah, so I think I try to put these in. I don't like them. I take them back out, and sorry about that. And yeah, I don't remove the roof till much later, so that doesn't really do too much for us. But I do end up putting these in, which was a detail I liked, and kind of makes the building sort of start matching up to itself. And yeah, so kind of get these sort of sideways pillars up here at the top. I also end up putting them down below here next to the the wood beams here, just so I can kind of add a little bit of the detail to the bottom here as well. And I try to place this thing in. I don't know why, but it's not a piece that works in this area, so yeah, this ends up not getting placed anywhere, and instead we continue on with kind of continuing to build this frame out. And now how do I line this one again? Because yeah, we have that little problem to fix. And is it just a long pillar here? I think it might actually be just a long pillar here. Yeah, oh, and then it kind of goes over the edge here because we have the detail in the back as well. This gets copied to the other sides, the front kind of gets copied to the back, and then we play with it a little bit, just kind of make it all fit in. And for some reason, the first time I placed it in, I placed it in the wrong location, so you end up deleting it and replopping it in again, because that's the thing we do. And then all of a sudden I realize, hey, this wasn't lined up to begin with, so we need to go back in and fix that. And yeah, I kind of do a lot of fixing here now, making these pillars kind of look cohesive that go around the side here, and it actually turns out to look good again, because I think that little bit of detail is very helpful in this build. And if I remember right, this isn't quite large enough to fit, to just put those two there, and we end up having to do a little bit more here than what I anticipated. So yeah, let's see, how does this end up? And then I think, is it just, yeah, it is one small one there. We end up leaving slight gaps there in the back just because it doesn't line up perfectly, but it lines up well enough that I think we can call it good. And here I go, starting to try to frame in the sides here. I use this kind of pillar again just because it's one we already used and it kind of fits into the theme. And I put it on each side, put them both in, and kind of line them up to kind of block off that actual hole there, kind of make it look like it's meant to fit into the building, which is a very important detail. Next, I end up putting these kind of railings in, you know, kind of match up with the building. And well, we kind of need the safety stuff over here just so we can make sure that people don't go wandering off wherever they feel like. And yeah, now I think I try to remove that one piece because we put the railing there instead, and I can't at this point because the station's in the way. And well, yeah, that just didn't work out for us very well. So instead I just leave it, and we just put a few little props up in here. We put we put a treasure chest and a cannon up there just to kind of give us a little bit of detail in that location. And you know, maybe like another cannon up in that side tower would look kind of cool too. Didn't do that in the time lapse, but I'm just now thinking of this after the fact, so we might have to go look at that and see what that ends up looking like. And yeah, I also end up adding some pillars to these towers over here, and again, it ends up looking pretty good. This front part, I think I add a little rock or something here to kind of compensate for that corner pillar, or do I just remove them? I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, it looks like we put a rock there to kind of make it just fit in. That way we don't have to, you know, extend the pillar downward either, which solves two problems pretty quickly. And now I end up putting this stucco piece kind of here at the area where the hooks are, and I think that also turns out nice. Now we just take the detail from the front, kind of add these pillars to the back here and kind of just finish up the station. So yeah, it looks pretty nice, and I think, just doing the same design back here we already have just kind of fits everything in. And this pillar, I have a little bit of trouble getting it to the right rotation, but at the end I end up doing it here. And yeah, we just kind of bring that detail. I think I also bring it around the sides here just so we can, fit those two kind of side sort of openings in as well, and it ends up turning pretty nice. And yeah, get those pillars at the bottom there. And of course we got these ones hanging off the side on this end as well, because you get that extra detail going in. And yeah, I think I push that all the way to the end. Yeah, we push it as much to the end as we possibly can here. And then all this stuff gets moved down because we feel like it. And apparently we get a small one over here to just kind of finish this side off and just do the same thing we've already been doing with it. So, yep, there we go. That's the placement of that. And then I think I take and do the rock work back here. Yes, I do that next. And apparently I'm still in the building at this point, because these rocks get somehow attached to the building. I don't know why, but it just happened that way, and I don't mind too much. So kind of fill in this area, and I think that's actually going to be the last main thing we do for the station here. Yeah, we get a few plants in the back here on the back side, and I think we decorate that in-between area where we have the rocks that we just put in. So yeah, the decoration kind of looks cool in this front area, and it all fits in pretty well with the ride itself. Add a few of these white bushes with the white flowers in as well, and I do like them a lot. I just, they're kind of interesting to try to fit into this area. And yeah, we get a little bit of rock work here again, and some more plants, and just kind of fill out that bottom area where we've got the brake run going over it. I guess it's kind of a brake run. I mean, it's more of a thing that just kind of moves the track or moves the whatchamacallit, the coaster train into the station there. And yeah, that's kind of an important thing to have. And do I do the wooden detail here on the side? I don't remember. No, I actually just do the smaller one here, just kind of, it's the same sort of design, but a little bit different. And then we put the railing here in the front, or in the back, although I guess it's also the front because it's the area we enter, so exit on the front of the actual building itself that you see from the path, which is also a interesting design decision. And yeah, I think, yeah, there we go. We're now removing the roof because I finally realized, yeah, that doesn't really fit this building, and we just put a flat roof in here instead. And I think then we just go and do a little bit of decoration on the path in the back here to finish off this episode. So, or no, just it looks like we're getting a lot of different views of this from the inside and outside, and I kind of wish this wasn't all sped up. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, let me know by posting down in the comments here. Yeah, that tower didn't really work out. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!